What the hell, girl? Like, where have you been? Girl, we've had some extreme highs and some extreme lows. I've really been preoccupied with my man. It is a hot ass mess. You know how we can be sometimes, girls. You know how we get. We get like, oh my gosh, this is my man. This is him for life, you know? That is what's whooping a lot of people's ass. Let's get into me. Let's talk about the main character. Hello. I know. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. For those who have been around for a while, I'm sorry. But for everyone new, hi, my name is Christiana and welcome to the channel. So, for those who are like, why is she tripping? Let me explain. So, for my ride or dies, my day ones, people who've been around for a long time, don't mind my bang, y'all. It's pushed back because we're about to get into this phase. But for those who've been around for a long time know that I disappeared for about 3+ months now. And you're probably wondering, what the hell, girl? Like, where have you been? So we're going to get into that while we do this phase. Catch up, talk about life. I'm going to talk about a few things that I had promised to talk about months ago and just haven't made any videos to talk about. So yeah, let's get all into that. We're gonna keep this very, very informal. For my peace of mind, my sanity, planned content for me is just not my jam. I am a spontaneous girly. Like, I've always enjoyed flying by the seat of my pants, like, you know, going with the flow. I perform best under pressure, which is just talking out my ass. That's what we do best over here. So I think moving forward on this channel, I probably will do videos just spontaneous thoughts in my mind, vlog style, where I feel like, oh, I might have an eventful day and I want to document it and share it here. This channel for me is going to be less about the venture of it all and more about the adventure of it all. And what I mean by that is that this is my little piece of the internet world of me documenting my life, my growth, my journey, the ups and downs. Girl, we've had some extreme highs and some extreme lows that we will get into a little bit. I'm gonna tell y'all all my business because my piece is my business being for me. I learned that a little bit the hard way too. Like, you have to have a discretion in terms of like what you tell, how you tell things, because it can be stress inducing, you know? So anyway, let me stop yapping and let's get into what's been going on, and let's also get into the space. So skin is skinning right now, but I just did my skincare routine. So I will pop up a screen here of where I curate all of the products that I use for morning skincare, evening skincare, makeup routines like affordable makeup, my favorite luxury makeup. Everything will be at this site. It's called Bendable, and I prefer to send you there because everything is curated and cute. I have little blurbs, explanations about what I'm using. The links there, most of the links there are affiliate links, so if you click and you go and purchase, I will get a little piece of change. Sometimes I'll leave Amazon links down below as well, which are also affiliate links if you prefer to shop at Jeff Bezos' house. But that's just the products. But this product right here has been my new favorite game-changing product. It's from a brand called Innisfree, which I believe is a Korean skincare brand. Girl, I use those pads every morning. Do you see this skin? Do you see that this skin is skinning? I think that those pads are really, really responsible. They're vitamin C pads, so they're like brightening. They've been really working to help just like give my skin life. Like, I wake up in the morning, I woke up like this realness is crazy because I look like I belong in a coffin. I swipe across my face with that pad, baby. She brings it right to life. Like, look at this. I could just go if I wanted to, but we're gonna get a little cute because being cute has its perks. We'll get into that too in this conversation. So Face is mostly prepped. The last couple things I do before I start to put makeup on are I go in with this Tula Skincare Gold Glow and Get It. It's a cooling and brightening eye balm. This is the package. I like this because it has that cooling effect. It also depuffs a little bit for mornings when I haven't had enough rest, which is basically every morning. So I really like this product. You just swipey swipe, boom, you see it gives you a little bit of a glow. But for me, it's the cooling property that I like more. Oh, and for those who've been around for a while, I know, I'm tossing the hair, girl. You see the hair this is 3-day-old hair though, so your girl's been doing a really good job of preserving this hair. We wrapped them edges, which is why this is pushed back a little bit. I probably will push this bang forward a little bit before I walk out the door, because this looks crazy right now. But yeah, and these are 3-day-old curls. This product right here, baby, because I don't have a hair, I need to make a little note to myself. I need to make a hair thread over there, binnable, with some of my favorite hair products. But that spray from Amika, that hairspray, the hold, like, why are these 3-day-old curls? I did these curls when I pressed this hair out with my Tymo, you know, the Tymo with the little barrel. So I press it out and I do a little twisty twist to give some curls. Set it. Yes, I kept them grandma style. I didn't comb them all the way out because I like to disturb the curls as little as possible to keep the press of it all, to keep it from frizzing up as quickly. Because if I comb them things out, baby, that thing's gonna be a fro in a day. But we kept it like this. I usually just pin it up before I go out and do I do like door dashing in the morning, so I pin it up because don't nobody have time for hang time while you dashing. But yeah, that's the hair. The hair looks good for one. So if you're new, don't get used to this. The hair look busted most of the time. But today we put our best foot forward to come back to you all and to let you know what's going on with your girl. So yes, and then the final thing that I do before I start putting the makeup on is I put this NYX Bear With Me Prime Set and Refresh. Love her down. As you can see, I need a new bottle, but I like to start with this as well because it does have a setting property to it, but I also just like how it feels. It just feels like my face is nice and fresh to get started with the makeup routine. 'Cause when you start putting stuff on the face, it's kind of like, girl, are we done? Are we done? Especially powders. Powders are important to make your face look polished, but also, like, having a powder face ain't it. But anyway, enough about the products, enough about the makeup. Let's get into the conversation, boo-boo. So where have I been? Girl, I've been trying to get my life together. But really and truly, I've been really consumed in a relationship. So we'll get into that because it's a little embarrassing to say it that way, to be consumed in a relationship, but honestly, that's the honest truth. That is the honest truth. I've really been preoccupied with my man, and there's positives and negatives to that because let's talk zodiac a little bit. I am a Pisces sun, Virgo moon, Pisces rising, so we're very there's a lot of Pisces on my chart, okay? So shout out to the Pisces. Y'all know how we can be, especially when it comes to relationships. All consuming, and it's just an emotional whirlwind for us, as everything is. We love emotions, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of times I feel really self-conscious about saying that I'm emotional, even though it's the truth, but I still feel self-conscious about saying it because people villainize emotional people. You know, there are people who weaponize emotions to manipulate, but as someone who is genuinely emotional, like, I feel very hard about everything. I call it passion. You may call it something else, but I'm very, very, very intensely passionate about everything. But that Virgo moon makes me so self-critical. I overthink everything, and I have this desire for perfectionism that just, like, completely contradicts the Pisces in me that wants to roam free. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with over here on a daily basis. We're dealing with the constant tug of war between wanting to be a free spirit, do first, think later, and then the highly analytical, overthinker, self-critical, perfectionistic Virgo moon saying, girl, sit your ass down and think this shit through before you do it, okay? Like, please, let's be for real. So yeah, that's the struggle that I always am going through, just as my chart dictates. But it's okay. It's okay, because we're figuring it out. So yes, I've been consumed in my relationship. My relationship started shortly before I peaced out on this channel. I think I may have mentioned in some of my previous videos, like mentioning remnants of him. Like, I think he texted me one time and your girl was acting like a 15-year-old girl. Like, some boy texts you like, okay girl, get over it. Like, you're a grown-ass woman. Get over it. But I'm just very excited. If you've watched this video, which many of you may have, or may, because that video is popping on this channel, but about my journey from dysphoria to euphoria, you will understand why being in a relationship for me is something that I may never have fathomed. Like, being my final evolved self. Come on, Pokemon. The final evolution of me, and being in a relationship and having someone love me for me, everything about me. It's honestly just like, it's a surreal feeling, and I feel like I really lean in very hard when it comes to my relationship, because it's special to me. It's very special to me. He's very special to me. I feel like I have found my person, and I know, girl, like, cite and reference this if it doesn't work out, because it's gonna be like, girl, it's giving goofy. But you know how we can be sometimes, girls. You know how we get like, oh my gosh, this is my man, this is him for life, you know. And that may or may not be the case, but ultimately for me, I'm learning to lean into my instincts, feel my feelings, follow my instincts, and just go. Like, that's the happiest times in my life. I leaned into that, and they were happy times for a reason, because I leaned into that ideology to just unapologetically, oh girl, see, running my mouth, I forgot to color correct in certain places. This neck, this melasma from years and years of abuse, we gonna work it out, girl. I have a few products that I'm planning to try out on my face routine, like my face washing routine, to try and target some of the areas that are darker, that need a little bit of attention, like my neck, under my neck, around my mouth, you know, typical areas for people of color, that, you know, typical places where we have darkness, under eye. Like, I want to try to have pristine skin. So yeah, I'm gonna try out some turmeric face washes, a few different brands. I think I'm gonna go natural first, like completely natural, and see how that works for me. I put way too much of this. Like, wow, I'm gonna be, under eyes are gonna look like I have had 23 hours of sleep. But it's okay. Better than looking tired, right? All right. So yeah, so when it comes to the relationship has been all consuming, but there's been a downside to that. And I feel like I started to lose myself a bit in the process. That, girl, is not good. You can love your man down, but you also have to love yourself down even more. So I'm just trying to find the balance, and without going into my business and his business too much, we are taking the time to find that balance for ourselves in on our own lives, and then we'll bring our healed, balanced selves back together to have a stronger union, you know? So I'm not mad at it because I felt like the way that things were progressing was not going to be, it was not going to end well, or wasn't going to go well. I mean, whether it ended or not was going to be a thing. But I feel like me as a strong woman, someone who's been through a lot, like my journey has been full of trauma, lots of really low lows, and just naturally how I am. I just am very, very strong. I can come through adversity. There's going to be tears, there's going to be stress, there's going to be lots of things along the way that are uncomfortable, but ultimately I know that I'm a strong woman and I can get through anything that I need to. But the problem with that is that sometimes as a strong woman, I feel like, oh, I can deal with, and I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to. You know, I should have the opportunity to have a soft life like anyone else. But sometimes I don't even promote that for myself, you know? Girl, you gotta root for yourself. You gotta root for the softness for yourself in order to even be in the game, to be in the ballpark of having the softness, right? So it's like I had to sit back and just be like, this is not usually the brush I use to blend out. I was like, why is my sunscreen look different today? This is not the brush that I usually use to blend out my sunscreen, but I'm actually not mad at the results at all. This is the brush I use usually to do my color correcting only. And then I go in with either this Sephora brush that needs to go in the trash because she's seen better days, or my Real Techniques buffing brush. I'm not mad at her either. She's affordable and she gets the job done. But yeah, just wanted to point that out in case you're actually following along with the makeup. But listen to me. Just listen to what I'm saying more, okay? Anyway, so that's what's going on in the relationship front. I probably won't dive too much deeper into that or any details when it comes to relationships because, I mean, if you watch enough content and you've watched enough other girlies on here, you know that when it comes to certain things, you should be able to have some things for just you. You know, you shouldn't have to divulge all of this space is your space to talk about, show, do whatever it is that you feel comfortable, and the audience can like it or lump it. You can choose to stay and engage and love it, or you can say, I want to go watch a girly that's going to give me all her business and all her tea. And that is on you. Over here, when it comes to my own personal tea, I think that I've been very open about my life, my journey, as far as identity and transition. I have been an open book in a lot of ways. And I want to continue to do that. I want to continue to share what I feel comfortable sharing. But if it's something that I feel like is not something that I want to share, that I feel comfortable sharing, then I won't share. And that's that. So, moving on from the relationship, let's get into me. Let's talk about the main character. Hello. So, how have I been? It has been 1 year. I'm 1 year post-op. So, I remember, I will pop the comment up here from the subscriber or the watcher that asked about a video or for me to talk about how things have been post-op, or like to talk briefly about the SRS process and my post-op journey. So we'll get into that a little bit here, okay? Maybe I might do a whole video about it and talk about it in more depth, but I don't want to delay anymore in terms of talking about that, since I know that there are a lot of my tea girlies on here that want that information. So let's get into it. So I think I may have talked about the SRS bottom surgery. For anyone that is new or may not know, I did have sexual reassignment surgery, or bottom surgery is how you may have heard it referenced, but a little over a year ago. And the process for me was extremely smooth and extremely quick. I know from talking to one of my friends and just from having eyes and being able to read and comprehend that it is a hot ass mess trying to get booked for the surgery now at this point, because there is a full out war happening against trans people. So there's a lot of reform and a lot of barricades, obstacles, hurdles that are being put into place to try to prevent people from just being who the fuck they are. It's really, really irritating to witness, but that's the reality of the situation. So when anybody tries to put up a barricade when it comes to me, baby, that ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna figure out a way to climb over. I'm gonna figure out a way to dig under. The thing is, my brain will always beat your pettiness, will always beat your need to try to control. I can't be tamed, I can't be controlled. When I'm determined to do something, and I think that many trans people are blessed with that attribute. I think there is a sense of resiliency in people who are born what I would consider to be special. It is a special thing to be able to transition from one being, and when we talk about gender and all of that stuff, I mean, outside of when it comes to identity, there's two things that are happening. There's the actual science of it all, which is objective and does not mitigate identity and how someone expresses themselves. I mean, if you found your way here and you don't fully understand the difference between identity and expression and mere biology in terms of, what we are born with, like specific organs that we're born with, I'm gonna need you to open up a tab in Google and search that all, because I'm not here to educate you on that today, but it's important for you to know. So I feel like go ahead over to Google and search that out and learn the difference, because I think that is what's whooping a lot of people's ass in this whole conversation about trans people and gender non-conforming people, and people just not understanding why. First of all, it's not for you to understand if it's not your experience. It's for you to be a decent person and to understand that people want to just exist as they are, and for you not to question it. That's what you need to understand. That's all you need to understand. I don't understand everything under the umbrella. I don't understand all of the identities and the way in which people express themselves under the umbrella of LGBTQ+. But it's not for me to question. For me, you like it, I love it for you. As long as you aren't harming other people, you just living your life, doing your thing, baby, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, because that's all I want. I just want it to be my unapologetically amazing self. How I always knew myself to be from a very young age internally. I'm looking at her right now. I'm looking at the person that I always knew that I was, but was told I was not when I was born. And it's something special. It's something special to finally get to a place where you can look at yourself in the mirror or just reflect on your life and how things are panning out. Now, don't get me wrong. Life is by far perfect. But in this realm, in the realm of me and how I feel about myself, how I feel about my looks, and I know people like to kind of, when we get on the conversation of looks, people get a little uncomfortable because, it's a fine line. People feel like sometimes the conversation gets a little bit superficial and a bit judgy, like, because we can't really truly help, like, our genetics and what we look like. I mean, you can go do procedures, and I'm not here to judge. Like, look, I went and got my kitty cat because that's what I knew would make me happy, right? Like, I always felt a sense of dysphoria around that particular thing. And for me, some trans people do not feel any sense of dysphoria around their sexual organs, and that's fine if they don't. I don't think it makes you any less, specifically talking about trans women, doesn't make you any less of a woman because you have quote unquote male genitalia. So, do you. I'ma do me, you do you. You wanna get boobs? Get boobs. I have no desire to get boobs. Your girl got enough boobs grew thanks to hormones, so I'm happy with my little sad B's. But if you want to get you some D's, some double D's, go on, girl, and get you some double D's, okay? Like, that's the kind of world I live in, where I live and let others live. But unfortunately, too many people don't have that mindset, that they feel like they want to live and they want to regulate how other people live. And to me, first of all, get a hobby, because it's too many things to be doing out here constructive than trying to regulate my life, my existence, right? Other people, trying to regulate other people's lives and other people's existence. It's too many things to be doing out here. Do you see this world, what's going on around it? Like, there's so many other things that you could be doing constructively that would be making this world a better place, besides trying to tell me who I am and what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Yeah. So I'm gonna need you to pick up a hobby. I'm gonna need you to get a job. For some of you all keyboard warriors behind the screens that just have so much time in your hands, sounds like you need to find yourself another little venture or another little activity or something to do, because, like, why do you have so much time to clock in on what I'm doing? Exactly. So, yeah, I live in a world of live and let live, but apparently a lot of other people don't. So, it's frustrating. It's hard. It's hard out here to just be unapologetically yourself. I think I've reached a place where I've done the work, the physical. I physically went and took care of a huge part of my dysphoria. I've gone to therapy and will continue to go to therapy to discuss the trauma that I've experienced over the course of my life as it relates to my identity and other events and experiences. And now I'm receiving the gifts of some of that work. I was able to find a relationship that I'm navigating. I am happy with I know, y'all gonna be like, the pause girl, spill. I'm very happy in my relationship. I think that there's definitely lots of room for growth in terms of how we navigate the relationship, but I think I'm most excited for the fact that I feel that the love is there. Like, I know, I don't doubt his feelings for me. I don't doubt his love for me, and I definitely don't doubt mine for him. And I think many of the other things, areas of concern or places for growth, are all things that can be worked on. When I feel like they can't be worked on, or when I feel like I have lost a certain level of just like trust, safety, and security, girls clock in down below. Like, in hetero relationships, right? Because I feel like this is like maybe a male, a woman and man dynamic in relationships sometimes. I mean, relationships come in all different shapes and sizes, but I'm speaking as a simp girl that likes to feel safe and secure and feel like I can trust my man. And maybe that's just, maybe I'm thinking too deeply, maybe I'm thinking too heteroly. Ugh. But maybe that's what everyone is looking for in a relationship, to be honest with you. You're just looking for your person, and you're looking for to have a sense of safety and security. You can feel like you can trust that person, and that you feel at peace with that person. Like, those are important things for me. Yeah, if you look good, great, wonderful. I love it. Love how my man looks. Baby, he can get it, okay? But ultimately, like, that's gonna fade. One day, I'm gonna be looking at him like, damn, you had better days. And he'll be looking at me like, damn, you had better days. But what's not gonna change is the fact that I know that I can trust him, I can rely on him, and vice versa. And that when I'm with him, I feel a sense of peace and security like I don't in any other situation, right? That is the intangible. That is something that will never change over the course of our lives. As we get older, as you know, if you start a family and you have kids, and as other things around you change, that feeling should never change. And that's ultimately, for me, what I always look for in a partner. And that's what I feel like I found. And that's why I'm doing the work to keep this relationship really popping, right? But it ain't easy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If anybody ever told you that, oh, when you find your person, it's just gonna feel right and it's gonna be easy, no, baby, it's not. It's not easy, okay? So just get prepared to go through it. I've had tears. Come on, girl. As Pisces, come on. Y'all know I'm gonna cry. Y'all know I'm gonna cry, but it's okay. Oh my gosh, y'all, I took an ugly picture of myself to remember a moment. I did it for multiple reasons. One, I wanted to remember the moment and how I felt, like the intensity of the emotions of how I felt. And yeah, it definitely does that. I honestly am too embarrassed to put it into this video because I look absolutely insane. I even had my bonnet on, girl. I was bonnet, bare face, bawling my eyes out. But I felt like it was a good reminder to myself that these are the emotions that I feel for this person, and the intensity of these emotions speaks volumes. So I wanted to have a visual depiction of that to remind myself on days when I feel like, what am I doing? I'm fighting for this, for someone that I care so deeply about, that, yeah, girl, Kim Cade ugly cried. And I'm not promoting staying in a toxic situation. Like, there's a fine line. So there is feeling very, very intensely for a person, but it's rooted in a toxic attachment and connection to a person, and not necessarily in love. And that is for you to go to therapy, have moments of introspection to really differentiate. Because the moment that I feel like this relationship is not rooted in a healthy connection with this person, then I feel like that's when I'm going to have to sit with myself and say, girl, what are we doing? Let's get it together. Let's figure out exactly what it is that we're doing, and let's root for ourselves and not stick around just for the sake of having a man. Okay? So that's that. Face is done, y'all. And I feel like I just talked about a whole bunch of random ass nothingness. But I wanted to sit down, get my face together for the day. I'm getting ready to head out and do a little bit of dashing. I probably will come back in another video and talk about more extensively what's going on with my dreams and aspirations. I am working on a brand new venture, a brand new career path, because I feel like I always talk about how I want to, let's push this bang up a little bit, because we're getting ready to go outside, and girl, that bang being back looks crazy. Yeah. Ooh, she's that girl now. Look at that. Oh. Ooh. Okay. But, and yeah, body's glistening. I got my sunscreen on because I'm gonna be outside, y'all. I'm gonna have a jacket on probably because it's 61 degrees, but when it starts to get warm, we're gonna take that jacket off and we're gonna be nice and sunscreened up. This is the Kapari, one of the Kapari oils. This one. This. We love her down because she has SPF and she also gives you this glow. Look at this glow. Look at the shoulders. Look at the shoulders. I used to be so insecure about my shoulders, but do you know how often I get complimented on my shoulders? I used to think like these shoulders are not very like feminine. They're kind of, you know, broader, but the girls are getting poofy shoulders and putting pads in and everything else to try and get that shoulder situation so that they can have that, so that waist can look a little more snatched. And girl, my shoulders are just shouldering as they are. And they're nice and glowy. My man loves a glowy. He loves a glowy décolleté and shoulder situation. But anyway, yeah, so I don't even know what I was saying before. I was pushing my bang up. I was saying that I needed to let the chaos ensue. Let the chaos continue, right? For all the people who know, I'm your favorite chaotic homegirl, okay? I will always be that no matter what. Oh, the new venture. That's what I was going to tell you about. So, I figured out what I want to do. I've always known what I want to do, but I just haven't really been pushing that agenda, and that's going to stop. Your girl is a wellness girly. I want to help other people. I've always wanted to help other people, and I can see that in everything that I do. There's always an element of helping other people, but I want to help other people mentally. And going back to school and going to be a therapist is just not an option for me right now, financially, and I just don't have that option available for me. I'm going to continue to do research. I'm going to continue to try and find ways to make it happen, because I would love nothing more than to be a therapist, specifically targeting marginalized and oppressed groups like the LGBTQ community, minorities, just people who don't have access to mental health care in the same way. That's the big goal. But I can do things now where I can help people through coaching and through wellness. So I'm at the very, very ground level of planning out a wellness business. And how it's going to manifest itself is still TBD, but I am just very excited that I'm making the commitment to move in my purpose and to figure that out. So stay tuned. I will likely be working on this a lot over the coming weeks, and I'm gonna definitely keep you all abreast of what's going on, because I feel like maybe there are people in my audience that may be able to utilize the services. I am a certified coach. Like, I did a class and some hours to get a certification as a coach, like a life coach, but I want to specifically focus on wellness, and wellness is kind of a broad term, but specifically like mental wellness, work-life balance, those kind of things. So I will have a better idea as to specifically how this will manifest in the coming weeks. But I was just so excited because it came to me maybe a week ago, and I've just been marinated in it for a long time. And I've been seeing, I'm a little bit of an astrology girl, not like deeply into it, but I loosely follow like my horoscopes and know about my chart and what it says about my personality, which it's spot friggin' on, okay? Right now, for me in particular, in my chart, there's power right now in my creativity and just my ability to be able to really manifest a new project, a new endeavor. So I'm leaning into it. While the energy and the flow is working in my favor, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. But anyway, I have taken up about 40 minutes of your time, so I'm gonna let you all go because I need to get out of here anyway. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you made it this far, you my girl. If you made it this far, you's a real one. But if you have not already liked the video, please like the video. It helps get your girl out there and to get more people who would be wonderful fit in our community here and subscribe. So don't forget to like the video, and if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Your girl is back and she's going to be giving you content regularly. I ain't even going to hold you. I'm not going to give you a schedule, because if I give you a schedule, I'm just lying, because I'm not in a place to be able to promise a consistent schedule of content. But we will be giving you a video regularly, okay? Because I have things to talk about, and when I have things to talk about, I'm gonna pick up the camera and I'm gonna record. Face looking beat up, I'm gonna pick the camera up. Hair done, hair looking a mess, I'm gonna pick the camera up, okay? Because the time is now to film this journey, so that when you see the beautiful life, you saw me in the trenches first to get to that point. But anyway, let me stop rambling. Let me get up out of here. Thank you so much again for watching the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!